Hi there, welcome to my video on how to automate commonly used Thinkific business systems in Zapier. In this video, I'm going to continue showing you some different automations of some common business systems that Thinkific users have been setting up. The idea behind some of these automations is that it will help streamline the systems that you build in your business and allow you to spend less time on task-oriented details and more on high-level strategy, growing your business, developing more products, and managing your team. The idea is that for us to be more productive, we want to spend less time on these task-based items and more on the meatier aspects of our work. So let's get started. I'm super excited to show you some additional triggers that I have been setting up and that I think have been really useful. So one of the common things that I hear from Thinkific users is that they're really interested in sort of setting up spreadsheets to track orders, track signups, track new users, just track all sorts of data. This is really important because they want to be able to analyze and monitor the progress in their business. So let's just look at some of the examples that I've created here. So the first automation that I've set up in Zapier is that anytime a course has been completed in Thinkific, a new spreadsheet will get created in Google Sheets. The idea behind this is that anytime, and often as your students enroll in your courses and you want to track progress and track how many students have completed it, this will sort of give you that kind of data. And the nice thing is once you've set up this trigger for this one, then each time a new course is completed, Zapier will automatically update this spreadsheet so that the data is constantly refreshed. The other one that is really similarly on the same line that's really important is to create a spreadsheet in Google Sheets when a new order is created. And just to be clear, new order means that someone has signed up for your course. New order does not necessarily mean that they have necessarily paid. The difference is that order is someone who has signed up for a Thinkific account, but enrollment is when they're fully considered to have completed the checkout process. And so with this trigger, the same concept applies here in that anytime a new order is logged into Thinkific, a new Google Sheet will get created. And the idea is that you'll start to track the number of people who are creating new orders, but you also start to track the courses that have been completed. The other option, also on the same line, is to create a spreadsheet in Google Sheets when a new user in Thinkific is created. The idea here is that we're going to create a spreadsheet every time there is a new user in Thinkific. Now, you might want to say, okay, this is fun and these are all great, but what if I've already created a spreadsheet because I have a specific way that I like to see things, and so now I just want to update these information in my course. So what you would do then is, what you can do is modify this Zapier trigger. And so instead of creating a new spreadsheet, what you may want to do is say, hey, I just want to have an existing spreadsheet updated. So right now the action here says to create a spreadsheet, but what I can do is edit this and then click on this one to delete this step. And this is going to help me so that I can start over again. So that anytime there's a new user in Thinkific, I'm going to click on this plus button, select Google Sheets, and then ask Google to update my spreadsheet. Now here's where Zapier gives me a lot of different options. I can create a new row in a specific spreadsheet. I can create a new worksheet in an existing spreadsheet. I can also create a spreadsheet column, and then I can also run some search queries. But let's just say I want to just update an existing spreadsheet. and have this data tracked by courses. Then what I would want to do, instead of creating a blank a new spreadsheet, I can ask Zapier to create a separate worksheet in an existing spreadsheet. The idea behind this is you may have already set up your worksheet spreadsheet, and now you're just asking them to create a new sheet in that big spreadsheet. So then we've decided that the action should be create worksheet, then click on continue, and select the Google account. If you haven't connected yours, then you'd want to connect your Google account. And you can always toggle between different Google accounts. So like if you have multiple, like if you are someone who's doing this and setting this up for a business, then you can toggle between by clicking on manage connected accounts, the different Google accounts that you manage. And then you'll go ahead and click continue. And then you want to select the spreadsheet that's in your Google Sheet that will get created in it. And so I'll just pick one from my Google Drive and then pick a spreadsheet, and I'll just call this new test. And then give this a title that says worksheet tracking, worksheet tracking tab. The idea is you just want to give it a name so that you know what the new tab and worksheet will get called. And then this is where you want to decide which of the headers data that you want to pull into that spreadsheet. So one of the things that most commonly people say to me is they want to see the first name, they want to see last name, and email. I feel like those are the most important things, but let's just say you want to do a search by ID. That might be also important to sort of compare if there's any kind of issues with someone who is having any kind of payment problems or Stripe or PayPal issues. That's another way to use ID to cross-reference. And then once that's done, you're going to click on continue. And then what we can do is test and review this in Google Sheets. And now it says a worksheet was sent to Google. So let's just take a look. So now I am in the Google Sheets and in that new test. And then I want to look for that worksheet tracking tab that I've just created. And they have pulled the first name, last name, email, and the ID number. So those are all the data that gets pulled into Google Sheets every time that Zapier trigger is considered active. So I hope that helps show you some of the examples and the range of automations that are available to you. If you have questions, leave a question, leave a comment, and let me know how I can help. Thanks again for watching, and talk to you soon.